Well, it turns out that the duck is not a mascot after all, so I'm going to tell you that story. I've got some election results that impact cruising in Bar Harbor, Maine. We're going to be talking about another itinerary change on Norwegian, as well as a cruise line offering cooking classes, and I want to know if you would be interested. So let's go ahead and get started. Hi there, this is Allison with Let's Go Travel Tips. Today is Wednesday, it is November 6th of 2024, and I want to remind everyone, I know that yesterday was so busy because election day is always such a busy day as we all try to see how the election's going to go, but go make sure that you see my video from yesterday. Take a look at that because it has some really helpful information in there if you're going to be traveling very much at all, so wanted to put that out there. Also, in my video yesterday, I was telling you all about the group cruise that I'm doing that's a special one to celebrate the 250th birthday of the United States of America. During the course of that video, I was letting you know that the pricing with the Have It All Plus package is the same that I can get as what is on Holland America's website. I accidentally said Princess's website, so look at Holland America's website for a Holland America cruise and send me an email if you're interested. So let's start at the top then with Holland America. So Holland America is partnering with Sur La Table to offer classes for cooking when they're on, for guests when they're on board their ship. So apparently, Holland America has had a lot of success with their fresh fish program. I remember when they first introduced that, they try to use fish from the region where they are sailing. And so part of the cooking classes is going to be to help people learn how to prepare fish as well as other dishes. These classes are going to start being offered with cruises on November 1st, and you're going to have some options. It said that some of the recipes will include fish, some won't. They're going to be recipes that are developed by Holland America chefs as well as people that work, chefs that work with Sur La Table. They are also going to invite you right into the galley in order to be able to do this. It says, we are thrilled to invite Holland America Line's guests into our kitchens to experience the Sur La Table culinary experience. So I want to know in the comments if you want to do that on a cruise ship. It's really interesting because I watch a lot of videos, clearly trying to see how things work on other cruise lines and just to stay up on things. And I noticed that some of the smaller cruise lines with the smaller ships have some culinary experiences where you can learn how to cook. So let me know if you are going to want to learn how to make some new dishes while you're on Holland America. I don't think I do. To me, that's not my idea of like what I want to do when I'm on a cruise. Now, learning how to cook in France or learning how to cook in Italy or in Greece, that would be a different thing. But just on a ship, I don't know if it's me. So let me know if it's you, okay? Next up, Bar Harbor, Maine. Now, if you're new, I'll just put this in a fast nutshell. So Bar Harbor, Maine is absolutely beautiful. It is the jumping off point to visit Acadia National Park. Very, very lovely setting. Ships need to, you have to anchor there and then have the water shuttles take you into port. And it is a small town, but they have an amazing shopping street with lots and lots of gift shops and souvenir shops and some places to eat that the locals love when the cruise lines come and bring their guests because then they get good business. Well, some of the people that live in Bar Harbor don't like the congestion that comes on the days when you've got cruise passengers in port. So they voted a couple of years ago to decrease the number of cruise passengers that they would allow in port at a time on a given day. And so they made it, they took it clear down to 1,000 cruise guests at a time visiting. And so that really impacts what ships can go there, right? You wouldn't have a princess ship going there because there's too many guests on board. Well, some of the locals said, you know what, we want to increase that limit to, I believe it was 3,500 guests a day. And so they voted on it yesterday, and by an extraordinarily slim margin, it carried that they would not be increasing the number of guests that they would allow on on in Bar Harbor at a time from a cruise ship. And so here I'm going to tell you the numbers. So 1,776 people voted to not increase the limit, and 1,713 people voted to increase that limit. So it'll be interesting to see if that shows up on the ballot again the next time voting rolls around again, and just kind of what the future of that looks like. And if we see that spread to other places, a really important thing to remember is Bar Harbor is not the only place to visit there. There are a lot of cool places that actually want cruise ships to come. When we were just on the Love Boat cruise to New England on the Enchanted Princess, it sailed on August 31st this year. We visited Eastport, Maine, and let me tell you, talk about a community that was very welcoming, very gracious to all of the cruise passengers and wants them to come. And so I always think that when one door closes, another one always opens. And not only is that a good way to think of cruise ports, it's a good way to think of life. And if a door closes and you don't see another one open, keep looking and don't give up. All right, I don't know who needs to hear that today, and I need to remember it really often. So don't think that all the doors have closed, because one always opens. Alrighty, next we have got Carnival Cruise Line, and I told you the other day about them introducing their new duck as their mascot. I read through the press release that I had read and shared that with you, and indeed it sounded like the duck was the new mascot. They talked about Funship Freddy, that little fennel-looking guy, in the same release, and it sounded like they were going to either be on par or that Funship Freddy was on his way out. And that is not the case. It seems like a lot of people thought that. John Hilt has had to come out and make a statement and say that indeed that duck is not a mascot. It is a funny thing that the photo department developed so that to try to get people to take more pictures while they're on board the ship. And so it'll be fun to see if they're thinking about changing the mascot at all. I thought the duck was a pretty good idea. I think not to diss Funship Freddy at all, but those ducks were pretty cool looking. And so if you are going to go on a Carnival cruise soon and you take a picture of the duck, or get your picture taken with the duck, let us know and share it with us if you would like. You can share it with us on our Facebook group, or you can email it to me, and if you'd like it shared in a video, I'll pop it up there so that everyone can see what that photo op looks like. And so yeah, that's the news about the duck. It's kind of funny, huh? Okay, alrighty, I've got a question for all of you, and before I ask it, I want to invite you to please subscribe to our channel. You just hit that subscribe button, the bell next to it. If you hit that, it'll give you a notification every time we go live or post a video so you don't miss anything. And if you appreciate my updates, would you please give this video a thumbs up? Thanks so very much. Now, here's my question for you. If you have been on a holiday cruise, whether it's at Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, over Valentine's, a holiday cruise, will you please comment and let me know in the video, in the comments under the video, if you think that people dress up a little bit more, whether they dress up more on the formal nights, or if they dress up a little bit more for any other events they've got on the ship. Do they have a white night? What it is it that they do on New Year's Eve on the different cruise lines? That'll really help us a lot. I'm going to talk a little bit more about packing, about what we need, some ideas about what to wear, and just a little bit more awareness so that we all are not packing a bunch of things that we don't need, and also so that when we go, we feel like $1,000,000, okay? So if you wouldn't mind answering that, I'd love to hear from you. So thanks. Now, last up, it's important that we talk about Norwegian. I told you yesterday about Norwegian canceling a cruise, and they are no longer going to take a journey that goes from Vancouver to Hawaii. And they have made an adjustment to a cruise that sails on December 5th of 2024, so just in a month from now. It's a transatlantic cruise, and they have taken off 2 ports and added 1 additional port, and then they are tweaking some of the other port times during the course of the cruise. And they do say that it is for fuel economy. They say that it is fuel economy. Of course, they link that to environmental sustainability and everything. But I think, this is just me, and I want to hear what you think in the comments. I think it's really important. They can do what they want to do with fuel economy, but I think they need to look at that before they put their itineraries out there. I don't think it's cool to change the itinerary and say you're doing it for fuel economy on a cruise that is going to sail in a month, because people book cruises, believe it or not, based on the itinerary a lot of the time. And if you just randomly take something off just for fuel economy, to me, you should have thought of that before you did it. And I know that sounds a little bit tough, but I know that what it's like to book cruises for itineraries. And so the Norwegian Star is no longer going to stop in, and I don't know how to say it properly. I kept listening to it on Google, but the audio thing, but it's Maceio, so Maceo, and Salvador, Brazil. So those are both off the itinerary, and they're going to stop in Montevideo, Uruguay instead. They are tweaking their time. Rio de Janeiro is going to take place on a different day. And they also have a stop that is in Santa Cruz de Tenerife in Spain, Porto Grande in Cape Verde, and Recife in Brazil. Those are some of the ports that they have changed the arrival and departure times. So let me know what you think about that, and please let us know if you happen to be booked on that sailing. Hearing this news made me look it up, and it is a really nice cruise. And so I'm sorry that they aren't going to take you where you thought you were going to get to go, and I honestly hope that Norwegian will truly set a goal that as they're developing their itineraries, they look at that fuel economy as they're doing it and meet whatever their goals are to do with that as they release the itinerary. I think that's really important. I maybe sound a little bit tough with that, but I think it's a little bit more responsible of them. So thank you very much for joining me today. If you've got questions about anything, let me know. Pop them in the comments, and I'll talk about those another day as well. Thanks so much for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you here again tomorrow. I'll be talking to you all again really soon. You all take really good care. God bless you. Love you. Bye-bye.